The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Tuesday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. Thanks so much for kicking off your trading day right here, 9:06 a.m., 24 minutes to go until the start of trading, and you got markets picking things up in positive territory. S&P is up by about 0.3% or 18 points in the positive, trading at 6,039. You see the action yesterday, highs of 6,068, and then you have the markets trade down about 1% from where we were at 11:30 in the afternoon. We're clawing back some of that decline, and we're right where we were, almost at the beginning of the day. Same time, 9 o'clock in the morning, right where we were. We got volatility in both directions, though, that's for sure. We trade up, we trade down, 1% moves. NASDAQ 100, we'll see if we get some volatility today. You have NVIDIA up by about 2%. We'll talk about what they had to say, their CEO. Talking last night at the Consumer Electronics Show in beautiful Las Vegas. NASDAQ 100 up by 0.2%, trading at 21,786. Let's jump over to NVIDIA shares right now. There's your acceleration. You're up by more than $4 right now, $4 almost to the T, 153, and that is going to be, I believe, an all-time high, right? Yeah, that's going to be an all-time high for NVIDIA shares. Boy, and you're talking about, what are we pushing? We're probably pushing, yeah, I was going to say 3.8. We're pushing $3.756 trillion, my goodness. And what do we need? Well, it's got 25 billion shares outstanding. We need about another $10 from where we are right now. So about 163 pushes NVIDIA to a $4 trillion company. Pretty remarkable. You jump over to Apple. Apple shares a little bit in the red this morning. Apple, yeah, look at that. NVIDIA, a larger company. They eclipse Apple yet again. The race has been on, right? But NVIDIA with a $3.7 trillion market cap. Apple just below that price point. And you jump over to Apple right now. And there's a little bit of a drop on Apple shares. You drop from 245 to 242 in the pre-market, and we're trading right now at 243.11 for Apple shares. We jump around to some of the other Magnificent Seven. Amazon shares. Is that an all-time high? Not quite, right? Yeah, 233 is the all-time high. Amazon pushing 228. I mean, all these equities, pretty close. Microsoft, this morning up by almost $2. We jump over to Google shares this morning. Alphabet, trading up by $1, and we got to talk about Meta. Big day for Meta yesterday. Zuckerberg, he's preparing for the next 4 years, man, that's for sure. He's got Dana White, the CEO of the UFC, a new board member, and yeah, let's jump over to Meta right now, because they are positioned, man. Look at that run ahead yesterday, right? From 610 to 640 almost. Remarkable acceleration. There we are. And there's the headline. UFC's Dana White joins Meta's board weeks before Trump takes office. And then you have Meta eliminating fact-checking program, brings back political content. It's a wild, wild west over there for Zuckerberg, man, as he's getting ready. They eliminate the third-party fact-checking program and implement a community notes model, similar to the one that exists on X. So he's teaming up, man. He's got Elon's community notes. He's got Dana White, who was there when Trump won, right? So he's gearing up. And they're bringing back political ads. Brave new world, for sure. Nonetheless, Meta, big day yesterday. You're just off that level, but you're still higher, technically, in the pre-market at 631.50 for Meta shares. All right, let's jump over to NVIDIA. So, NVIDIA unveils gaming chips, desktop PC to protect the AI lead. Now, it would make sense they're going to be everything, in everything. And the future, you talk about the wild, wild west, man. Check out some of these numbers, right? The company wants its products to be in the heart of the future of the tech world with 1 billion humanoid robots, 10 million automated factories, 10 million automated factories, and 1.5 billion self-driving cars and trucks. How about it, right? I'm jumping back and forth between a couple articles here. We got the Bloomberg one, and then we got the Wall Street Journal. Robotics, cars as growth areas to consumer. And remember, this is consumer electronics, okay? Consumers. They're not talking about selling AI chips to Microsoft. This is the Consumer Electronics Show, so that's why he's touting some of the ways that he anticipates, right, building that out. How about a personal AI supercomputer? Some of the prices that he talked about here, not that bad if they get the job done. NVIDIA will make a personal AI supercomputer called Project Digits. It will be a desktop computer with a version of its latest Blackwell AI chip inside. It's going to start at $3,000. For some of the price tags they talk about, okay, if you're really using that, not out of whack. The computers are aimed at AI researchers, data scientists, allow them to work on AI models without having to tap into NVIDIA's cutting-edge AI chips housed in the data centers, okay? New AI blueprints that make it easier to create and deploy AI agents to do things such as analyze video feeds, generate blog posts, right? You're going to see, man, and we know it, okay? But it's very difficult for the human mind to understand exponential growth, and we are there. The new generation of graphics chips for video gamers, okay? Hardware, which costs up to $2,000, enhances resolution. This is where they started, right? Graphics chips, gamers. And yeah, they're still going to tap into that. $2,000 enhances resolution frame rates from the most demanding games in part by leveraging AI, right? Not bad. Then you get over to the Bloomberg article, okay? And it does make sense, folks. The humanoids tell you, I mean, Elon talks about it. I'm not sure that's going to rationalize Tesla's prices, as Tesla's having a tough go on a pullback right now. But yeah, humanoid robots, man. They're coming. Yeah, this is what I want to get to. The data center unit, that's all that matters right now. Now, gaming's going to matter, okay? But check it out. Data center, 114 billion is the number they're talking about. And this is an estimate of 2025 sales. Gaming under 12 billion, everything else under 4 billion. As recently as 2022, gaming was NVIDIA's biggest source of sales. You've never seen anything like this. That little pink piece of the pie was their biggest piece of sales basically 2 years ago. We're what? 7 days into 2025, and in 2022, gaming was what was doing it. But yeah, we're talking about more than $100 billion in 2025 is what they're talking about. The next step is rolling out hardware and software to a larger swath of businesses and government agencies, okay? Just getting into, yeah. So they talk about, now this is Consumer Electronics Show. We're spending a lot of time on NVIDIA, but hey, they're the leader right now. They're the biggest company in the whole world. They were higher coming into this, okay? Check out some of the numbers, though. It's not hard to see. How about Microsoft? Last week, they're going to spend $80 billion, $80 billion on their AI data center build-out. Much of that going to be spent with NVIDIA. But again, this is consumer electronics. So they're talking a little bit of consumers. They're talking home humanoid robots, okay? He said NVIDIA reached a deal to provide driver assistance chips and software for future Toyota vehicles, adding a list of automotive partners that include Mercedes and Volvo. He forecasts the company's automotive revenue at $5 billion in its next fiscal year, up from about $4 billion. It's 25% growth just in the automotive industry, and you know that's going to explode, right? Automotive revenue and its financial results, yeah, $1.1 billion in the last fiscal year, but the $5 billion figure includes sales of other products and services to the industry. We'll talk a little bit more, folks. We'll come back. We got the S&Ps up by 18. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger Zen. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger Zen, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We got about 12 minutes to go until the opening bell. You got markets in the green right now. We jump around. Let's check in on the dollar. We talk about some volatility, man. The dollar bounces at about 108 yet again. We're trading right now at 108.22, we'll call it. You put that thing on, I like looking at this dollar on a weekly because, man, we really got a consolidation for the last 2 years. You break above that 108 area, and boy, it looked like we were running for 110, 115. A little bit of a reversal on the news that we got in terms of tariffs yesterday. And yeah, we're going to have to wait and find out where reality meets rhetoric. Not surprising, folks, especially with the Post comes out, right, and says Trump's not going to be as harsh with the tariffs as first anticipated. We're going to get to find out. 13 days from right now is January 20th, and then the reality will meet the road, and we'll get to find out. But guess what? We're going to have some volatility. That's the one thing I'm very confident in. That's not going to be the only time, right? You get a little head fake. Would it be? And we'll see where that goes. Yeah, nonetheless. All right, jumping back to NVIDIA shares. NVIDIA up by almost $4 to $153.20. You're going to be pushing $3.8 trillion on the open. And you know, it is interesting when you think about, right, the number of daily tasks. Now, the way our brains are working right now, we're almost used to ChatGPT, maybe using certain functions on a computer, large language models being able to talk to computers in a way we never had. But the humanoid robots, there are so many functions. I mean, I think about this because you see the CEO of NVIDIA, okay, pitching that they're talking about, what, $1 billion, right? That was the number. They're talking about 1 billion humanoid robots, okay? Now, how long does it take to get 1 billion humanoid robots in terms of developed countries, first world nations, third world nations, etc.? Okay, But when you think about the number of functions on a daily basis that might be able to be achieved by a robot, and I'm talking about simple things that you take for granted that you have to do, but that could be worth a tremendous amount of value if a robot could do it. I mean, something comes up, what about mowing the lawn? I found myself thinking this yesterday, okay? We live in Florida. The lawn business is great in Florida, folks. You put together a lawn business, you can be very successful in Florida. Think about the amount of people and the money that you spend. I'll give you, perfect example. Home, I think I'm paying right now about $140 a month for lawn care, and that's the entire month. And it's a decent lawn. This is my place in Tampa, and you're paying $100 to $150 a month. Depending on what kind of lawn you got, how big you got, the intricacies of that lawn. Good value, about $100 to $150 a month is what you're getting. Okay, and that's over the course of the year. During the summers, you got to do it every week. Right now, it's almost in the 30s, folks. You don't have to do the lawn so often. But point being, you're spending $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 a year just on lawn care on one home. You don't have to spend a lot of money on simple things to make up for it for a humanoid robot. Now, you go from there, right? Okay, they take care of the lawn care. What about laundry? And it's just getting the brain spinning. We know these things, but when you think about the function of time, okay? I watched the movie Interstellar recently. I'm sure many of you have seen it. Outstanding movie. It's available on Netflix right now if you haven't seen it. Matthew McConaughey in there. Great film. Christopher Nolan, director. Absolutely amazing director. And I had seen it, but I really had never sat down because it's almost a 3-hour movie. And one of the things that I love is space, right? Space. Just thinking about whether it's time travel, time dilation, general relativity, right? Gravity and all that stuff. And in Interstellar, they're near a black hole. And if you're near a black hole, folks, gravity will slow down time. And everything's relative. So gravity slows down time. So in one essence, they say, guess what? Time is a commodity. We got to treat our time like a commodity, just like air, just like food. Time is a commodity, okay? Even if you're not in interstellar space. And you think about whether it's cooking, whether it's cleaning the house, whether it's doing laundry, whether it's doing simple things like lawn care, etc. It's amazing when you think about, now, yes, I love doing my own lawn. Okay, there's something very rewarding. You should be active anyway, get some movement out here. I'm digressing, okay? But I have a rental property in Tampa. I got to pay for that. Well, what if you got a humanoid robot? And then what happens to certain industries that are intensive on that type of a service environment where maybe humanoid robots are going to just throw that in awry? And that's coming at you, man. So 1 billion humanoid robots, not out of the question if they reach the point that they can get things done in a reasonable manner. The last thing you want is a humanoid robot out there on your lawn, mowing the lawn and running over God knows what, right? Whether it be an animal, whether it be, so there is the need, but once they hit that point, man, there are so many mundane tasks that we go through on a daily basis that can be automated, and you're seeing it happen right now with technology, and you're gonna see it happen again with those types of actions, and that's why that market is going to be so prevalent when it finally potentially hits. All right, now we jump from NVIDIA and another darling of the AI. How about Dell? So, Dell, this thing, it's been on quite a run with extreme volatility in between. 32 to 180, we drive down to 87, we're back up to 147, we're at 124, you're going to be higher in the pre-market. And they are rebranding their PCs, and they're trying to make it something like maybe Apple. And I remember I've had them. The Dell XPS laptop, I probably had an XPS laptop or a desktop. I was a huge Dell fan for a while. The Inspiron, right? Customers prefer simpler names. They've always preferred simpler names. So what are you doing? But nonetheless, you know what they're going with? Where is it? They're going with like the Pro Max. I mean, it's, come on, they were down. Here it is. Yeah, the Dell Pro, and the Dell Pro Max. Where are the Apple lawyers, man? Where are the Apple lawyers? How are they launching products that are Pro and Pro Max? I guess you can't quite go after just the term Pro or Pro Max, but it seems like you might be able to with that, what Apple's done. Yeah, recent iPhone generations also carry the name Pro and Pro Max. Credit to Dell. I mean, imagine being in that room, right? And you say, what are we going to name all these products? And somebody goes, hey, I love Apple's names. They call them the Pro and the Pro Max. Let's just call our computers the Pro and the Pro Max. And they say, John, you got a raise. Well done. Nonetheless, that's what they're doing. They're trying to rebrand it. We saw, let alone the Apple that we know now, there was a time when Steve Jobs had to get brought back. And why did he have to get brought back? Because Apple wasn't pushing out computers that were simple enough. And this is before the iPhone, okay? But what did he do? He did away with everything else. He gave him a few computers. And Dell trying to do the same thing with a rebrand of their computers. But Dell, they're a strong company recently. All right, folks, we're coming back for the opening bell. Markets in positive territory. S&P's up by 18, trading at 6,038. We're coming back for the opening bell. Don't go away.
The consistency you're looking for is closer than you think. 1 or 2 adjustments are usually all you need to change your equity curve from red to green and keep it there. Come join Larry Pesavento live to learn what separates the winners from the losers. Join Larry Pesavento on the 2nd and 4th Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, where Larry will show you the market setting up and, most important of all, the state of mind of a winning trader. By watching Larry trade, you'll learn the Fibonacci levels, you'll learn how to apply A to B to C to D trading patterns, you'll learn trade management, pattern recognition, and much more. Join Larry October 11th and 25th for more live trading action. Your purchase goes towards 2 sessions, so make sure to sign up now so you don't miss a chance to sit next to Larry as he trades the market live. For all information and to reserve your spot today, go to the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets open. S&P's opening right now, basically at session highs, pre-market session highs. We're up by 22 points or 0.4%. And you see the run from where we were last Thursday, man. You're talking about almost 200 points. Yeah, you almost reached that level yesterday, and we're coming up to that level yet again today. We're up by 22. NASDAQ 100. You know, it's interesting. You got NVIDIA plowing higher, of course, but NASDAQ 100 only up by 0.2% right now. We check in on NVIDIA shares. There's an all-time high for you on the open at 153.74. We're up by 2% on NVIDIA shares. We jump around to some of the other chip stocks. AMD, we're basically flat, slightly in the green this morning. Jump over to Intel shares, up by 1.3%. Broadcom, up by about 0.3% as well. A little bit of volatility for them. We jump over to some of the Magnificent Seven. Microsoft, up by more than 0.5%. Amazon shares, basically flat at 227, and the big dog Apple, not the big dog anymore, man. NVIDIA, the biggest company out there in the world, Apple shares slightly in the red, and you jump over to Tesla, trading at 406 now. You want to talk about what's possible on this equity, folks. Right, there's your 382. That was the pullback, man. From October to the highs of about 485, you pull back to the 382, a little volatility. But yeah, it's a momentum stock right now, and we're talking about humanoid robots for sure. Tesla's in the game, but you're talking about a company right now, Tesla. That's not it. That's Apple. What are we talking about? What's our valuation? Come on. $1.3 trillion for Tesla shares. Pretty remarkable. All right, what else we got pulled up? We got to talk about this one. Getty Images and Shutterstock. So these two stocks, talk about a skyrocket, man. Not often do you get two equities. Whoops, GETY is Getty. Now, look at this thing, right? 2022, I can't even remember when this is. Was this a meme frenzy potentially? I'm not even sure, but nonetheless, doesn't matter right now. We put it back on the daily. Maybe they had a little bit of rumors going on. I'm not sure. Always interesting, right? Somebody always knows what was happening on the 3rd, where you got 8.5 million shares, right? Yeah. Nonetheless, today we're up by 33% right now for Getty. And then you jump over to Shutterstock, which is SSTK, and they're up by 20%. And again, volatility on the 3rd. Okay, seems like that they were talking about that deal on the 3rd. Somebody was, right? But it is interesting that when you look at this, these are two stock image powerhouse companies, okay? And in the age of AI, like we just talked about, the deal is going to draw antitrust scrutiny, and it should. Anytime you got two companies like this, they're the two juggernauts, they decide to combine, and they both go through the roof. What does it mean? Well, it means that they're going to use their competitive advantage by combining, eliminating the competition, and they're both going to benefit at the expense of the consumer. I don't know if that's going to play out, but we'll find out. But nonetheless, yeah, the move comes at a time when the licensed visual content industry is facing threats from generative AI tools such as Midjourney, OpenAI's DALL-E, which can generate images and video in response to a simple text prompt from users. It can, okay, but guess what it's also going to be able to do? It's also going to be able to pull stock footage, okay? It can create those images, but what's also going to happen is it's going to be able to pull stock footage as well, okay? The deal is going to help the companies in enhancing quote-unquote content offerings, expanding event coverage, and delivering new technologies. That's Craig Peters, the CEO of Getty, and he is going to serve as the CEO of the combined company. Getty investors going to own almost 55% and Shutterstock owning the rest. The deal is expected to generate almost $200 million in annual cost savings by the 3rd year of the combined company. And nonetheless, they're both accelerating higher. But it is interesting when you look at both of these companies, right? And maybe this is why they might get it through in terms of you look at just going back a few years for Shutterstock, one-way trip to lower prices. You take a look at Getty outside of that bubblicious that we had going on. And what was this thing? Was this a SPAC or something? Usually this is how the SPACs were trading, right? Yeah, this was a SPAC. Whew. Was Chamath in this? Did he take a bunch of money out of this? He might have. Boy, those SPACs. We live in interesting times, folks. Whew. To 37 to 5. You know it's a SPAC when it's shopping around at $10 because that's how the SPACs worked. All right, we check in on the markets. S&P's up by 15. We give it back a bit. NASDAQ 100 rolling over. Flat. We check in on the NVIDIA shares right now. Yeah, not so much, man. Look at that drop off. So we open it at all-time high, and just like that, you trade down almost $3. And folks, $3, okay? Remember, NVIDIA, they got 25 billion shares? They sure do. So you're talking about giving back $75 billion in market cap, just like that on the open. Pretty remarkable. We check in on gold this morning. Holding on to the gains, up by about $28 right now. Yields pushing 4.64, as I mentioned, 4.64%. And you got the dollar backing off to 108.21 as we keep our eye on that dollar. And yeah, you got to talk about Bitcoin, man. Quite the run. You put it back to the daily. We didn't even get a 382 pullback on Bitcoin, right? I pulled up in terms of the move that we got on Tesla. We got a 382 pullback on Tesla. Haven't even gotten a 382 pullback on Bitcoin. It's been such a run. We're back above 100,000, 101,225 for Bitcoin. And yeah, crude breaking through. Looks like crude. You know, you were in the range of 67.50 to 72.50. We're now in the range of 72.50 to 75.50. See where we are. Crude trading at 74.17. Seems like 77.50 might be in the cards there. That was the high back in October before you rolled over to negative prices in crude, and we're trading at 74.18 this morning. All right, what else we got pulled up? What else we got talking about? Yeah, we talked about Meta. Oh, let's talk a little holiday spending. How about that? Yeah, 9% online holiday spending rises nearly 9% as deep discounts and AI-powered chatbots really fuel purchases, Adobe says. 8.7% was the number during December and November, according to Adobe Analytics. Shoppers have embraced eventized buying, as in they hold out for key periods. Yeah, biggest year-over-year spending growth came from groceries, which jumped 13%, and cosmetics, which shot up 12.2%. 13% on groceries, huh? Sales on retailers' websites and apps, $241 billion from November 1st to December 31st. You know, it is remarkable when you look at something like that. Every single purchase by every single American for a period of 2 months during the holidays doesn't even come close to equaling how much money Elon's cost. I know. Just we're dealing with video game style numbers. The company's analysis includes more than 1 trillion visits to U.S. retail stores, 100 million unique items, 18 different product categories, but nonetheless, strong numbers, man. More demand, not higher prices, is what they were doing there. More demand, not higher prices, drove higher online spending. Digital Price Index found e-commerce prices have fallen every month for 27 months. Chairman Powell likes to hear that. The company's figures are not adjusted for inflation, but if they were revised, overall spending would be even higher. Yeah, not even adjusted for inflation. All right, S&P's positive by 15. NASDAQ 100, we roll over to negative territory. Dow up 205. Stay tuned, folks. We'll take a look at some more equities. We'll be right back after the break.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey. Because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We got the markets barely in the green right now in the S&Ps, up by 12. NASDAQ 100 slightly in the red, negative by 17 points. You got the Dow holding on to gains, up by 185, and the Russell leading the way, up by 0.7%, trading at 22.97. We jump around to some equities. Walmart shares slightly in the green, quite a surge higher for Walmart yesterday, up to 92.47. We're trading right now at 91.61. Jump over to Target shares, catching a bid, up by 1.6% right now for Target. Take a look at Target right now. Now look at this thing, trying to fill the gap from that last earnings drop-off in November, man. You drive down to 120, we're up to 141 right now. This thing got gaps all over the place. Look at this every time, man. And you back it up and you can see why. Tough quarters as you drive from 250. We're trading at 141 right now. There was their last earnings, trying to claw back, but Target having a good day, up by 1.7% right now for Target shares. And yeah, NVIDIA almost giving it all back. They go negative. They were up by 2%, and you just wiped out almost $100 billion in market cap right now. As we were at 153.74, we're trading it with a 149 handle on NVIDIA shares. Just jumping around to some of the difference. Yeah, look at it. All right, we jump around to other stories I had pulled up, talking about yields. Oh, I may sneeze here. Excuse me. Okay, credit markets signal warning for a relentless equity rally. And boy, this equity rally, it is something else, you know. Doesn't mean that it's got to trade lower, but you better have your spikes up on your back, folks, because we are coming into a point where there is optimism in this market everywhere. The VIX is under 16. We're coming into a new administration. We're coming into a Fed that's done cutting for right now. We're coming into tariffs that the president says are going to be harsher than the news reports indicate. Not often the case, right? News reports say, hey, market, chill out. Everything's going to be fine. It's not like Trump's going to kill the economy with tariffs. And Trump says, who says that, right? We're just going to live in this world the next 4 years, man. It doesn't matter until it happens. You're going to hear the reports. Trump's going to deny it. The reality is going to fall somewhere in between. And volatility is going to persist. But nonetheless, you think about the optimism priced into this market, all right? Now, just for instance, the S&P. Now, we've traded a little bit higher. But take a look at the S&P. You back it up to the daily. Okay? We're barely above the day after the election. I mean, this is the day prior to the election, November 5th. You bounce right off the highs of July 17th. We get the results that night. The market continues higher, but 58.20 was where this market was prior to the election results. Okay? Yeah, we're 200 points higher. But as we know in the S&P, okay, we're right near that ballpark. There was a lot of optimism built into this already. We're basically sitting where we were a couple days after the election, which is remarkable when you think about how much of a game changer that can be, okay? And there's your acceleration. Very little pullback over the last 2+ years from 3,500 to 6,000 and change. And so, yeah, you better have your spikes up on your back when you're talking about that type of a market. And then you look at yields. And the bond market, they're saying stocks might be a little bit overvalued. So check it out. Stocks are close to the most overvalued against corporate credit and treasuries in about 2 decades. The earnings yield on S&P 500 shares, that's basically the inverse of the price-earnings ratio, okay? You get the PE ratio, you flip it in inverse, and you have an earnings yield. The lowest level compared with treasury yields since 2002, signaling that equities are at their most expensive relative to fixed income in decades. Fixed income isn't that bad right now, right? But equities are expensive. That's the deal. For company debt, the S&P 500's earnings yield at 3.7, close to the lowest relative to the 5.6% yield of BBB rated dollar corporate bonds since 2008. And this chart is that comparison. The S&P 500 earnings yield is low relative to that BBB bond yield. And yeah, there's a very significant gap, as they put it, okay? And that can be indicative. And as they put it, the equity profit yield is usually above the BBB figure, okay? Because stocks are riskier. But guess what? Since the turn of the century, when the gap between the two figures has been negative, as it is now, it tends to spell trouble for the stock market. Now, it was there for 20 years, folks, in the 90s up until the bubble burst, okay? So it's not like this is a one-time outlier. But over that period, such a negative read has only ever occurred when the economy was experiencing a bubble or soaring credit risk is the number. So keep your eye on it, man. Now, I was listening to Bloomberg early this morning, driving into the office, and they were talking about corporate bankruptcies are up in levels we have not seen in some time, and it would make sense. You know why it would make sense? Because nobody was going BK during COVID, because we were incentivized not to go bankrupt, right? Through government stimulus. You're talking about PPP loans. You're talking about everything that went through it, okay? And there's been a buildup of negative interest rates. We'll call them zero interest rates, but there was negative. 0% interest rates allowing zombie companies to keep on existing that probably should have ceased to exist, okay? They could only service their debt in a zero interest rate environment. And then what happens? Rates rise, government stimulus goes away, inflation is here, and the lag catches up to many equities. You know, you got the leaders in this market that aren't going anywhere, okay? Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, Nvidia. But then you look at the underlyings, and you should have your spikes up on that back, folks. Because, you know, it wasn't long ago that we were striving for a $1 trillion company. Now it seems like we got companies going for $4 trillion all over the place. Nvidia being one of them. We'll see how that plays out. How about golf? Tiger Woods. If you haven't heard about this one, it's going to be an interesting one. Tiger, the new golf league. It's a futuristic league, and we'll see if it can take off. Yeah. So the way this is going to work is, instead of a group of major champs or top 10 players, okay, the new golf league, co-founded by Tiger and Rory, in a partnership with the PGA, it's a team competition that's going to combine simulator golf, where players hit the ball into the screen, with live action, as then they finish the hole on an actual green. One of the tough parts of golf, right, is that it's a huge venue that you have to walk. So what they're trying to do is put it all into one area. So they're going to have a digital drive, and then they have the greens there that you can putt on. And we'll see if it's going to play out. People love golf. We'll see. Yeah. And their debut was pushed back by a year after damage to the roof at the indoor venue in Palm Beach that they'll be playing at, man. All right, we'll talk about this when we get back, folks. But, you know, this is another part of technology, right? The league features 6 teams, 4 players, 250,000 square foot SoFi Center, custom-built venue, with a playing area the size of a football field. Yeah, everything getting a technological advance. NASDAQ 100 rolls back into positive territory. Markets in the green. One more segment, folks. I'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. NVIDIA shares roll into the red. How about that? You look at that little red. We got up there all the way up to 153.13, and just like that, NVIDIA drops about $5 from that high. You're negative by $1 right now, just off 0.7%. You look at the acceleration it had yesterday. Big numbers for NVIDIA. You're pushing all-time highs right now, 148.53. We jump back to that golf story because it is interesting when we were talking about technology, right? There are more off-course golf participants, and this is talking about people who play in the type of device that they're going to be using in terms of playing in simulators, which is what they're using. 32.9 people played on a simulator versus an on-course number of 26.6. And it would make sense, right? When you talk about technology, simulators, AI, VR, the whole deal. All right, what else we got pulled up? I got a couple articles. Where did I throw them? Here we go. Couple articles to finish up with. U.S. set to pay most since 2007 for 10-year debt as yields rise. It's a big number, man. Look at that chart. Let's blow it up. Okay? Treasury auction may draw the highest yield since 2007. 10-year notes trade at yields over 4.64%. That's the number we're pushing, man. And the Treasury's going to auction them off, and they might be the highest number. And then, how about volatility? You want to talk about volatility, man? These hedge fund managers, this one in particular, Hadar, 33% loss with assets plunging by $4 billion. Now, a lot of people underestimate, when you really want volatility, the type of variance you might be dealing with. I said, oh my goodness, he lost 43% in 2023. And then I said, wait a second. He lost 32% in 2024, and he lost 43% in 2023. Why was anybody even investing with this gentleman? You know why? Because he made 193% in 2022, and he made 70% in 2021. Nonetheless, those assets going from about 5 million to 800 million, big numbers, man. You want volatility, it goes both ways. No risk, no reward, folks. That's the deal, always. Folks, thanks so much for kicking off your trading day right here at TFNN. Stay tuned. Basil Chapman coming up next. Steve Rhodes, Larry Pesavento, Jacob Shoup. Have a great Tuesday, everybody. We'll